I'd like to welcome everybody to the very first mini lesson. Hey, today's topic's going to be about circumference and circles. So, let's just dive right in. Guys, we've got a circle right here. So before we move on, we need to figure out a couple different things about circles so we can determine what the circumference is. For starters, we have this line right here. You cut a line straight through the middle of a circle. We're going to call that the diameter. So again, the diameter is the distance across the middle of a circle. It splits the circle in half. Okay? Case in point, look at this. It's a basketball court, the jump circle right in the middle. If you look right here, the line straight across the middle, that's the diameter. Cut that guy in half. Alright, that's the first thing we need to learn about circles. Next, we have the radius. The radius is a line that goes only halfway across the circle. Okay, you start at one edge, you go straight to the middle, that's called the radius. Imagine this pizza here. This pie has already been cut up. Alright, what is it, 8 pieces? But if you look, the yellow line right there, it goes from the middle to the outer crust. That's called the radius. And a quick reminder, you see the green line dropping in right now? That line that goes all the way across the middle. Remember, that thing is called the diameter. Alright, now we have the diameter, we have the radius. What do we do with those things? Well, what we can do with those is find this. It's called the circumference. The distance around the circle is called the circumference. So this red circle that popped up, it's kind of like finding the perimeter of a shape, but you can't just measure a circle like a square or a rectangle. So it has a special name. It's called the circumference. So how can we find the circumference? Easy. We use this. This symbol is called pi. Now, what is pi exactly? Pi is 3.14. Now, the reason it's 3.14 is I want you to imagine this. In the lower right-hand corner here, we have this circle with a diameter that goes all the way across. Now, if you were to lift that diameter up and you were to wrap it around that circle, it would take 3.14 of these to go all the way around. Okay? So that's why we use pi. So essentially, it takes 3.14 diameters to go all the way around the outer edge of a circle. Alrighty? Now technically, pi goes on forever. It doesn't repeat. It goes 3.14, and the digits go on by the hundreds, by the thousands. It never repeats. It never ends. So, to make it easy, we just stop at 4. 3.14. It's fairly accurate to solve most math problems. So, here we go. Let's dive in. So our first problem, our first example actually, is we have to find the circumference, but how do we do that? Well, if you look at your reference chart for the 7th grade mathematics, you're going to use these formulas. So it's circled. It says circle circumference. You can use C equals 2 pi r, or you can use C equals pi d. Now, which one do we use? When's the appropriate time? So let's take a gander. Our very first example, we have this lovely circle here, and it looks like we have a line all the way across. Quiz yourself now quickly. What is a line all the way across called? It's called the diameter, and this guy measures 8 feet. So, since we have the diameter, we're going to use this formula right here. C equals pi d. Now, what does it mean when that wacky little symbol touches the d? It means pi times diameter. So we're going to multiply both of those guys. So just like every other equation, we're going to substitute for what we know. Well, we know that pi stands for 3.14. We know that the diameter equals 8. So we're going to multiply those two. Now remember, when you multiply, you do not line up the decimals. You line up the numbers. Okay? So 3.14 times 8, and we're going to go ahead and get 25.12 feet. That is the distance all the way around this circle. 25.12 feet. That's how you find the circumference. It's as easy as that, guys. Next, we have a circle with the radius. Now the radius is marked right here as 4 feet. Remember, the radius is a line that goes from the outer edge to the center. It does not go all the way across. The outer edge to the center, that's called the radius. This radius is 4 feet. We're going to use this formula right here. 2 pi r. C equals 2 pi r. Now what does it mean when all those are touching? It means C equals 2 times pi times r. So we multiply all three of those, but we use our order of operations. First we multiply 2 times pi, and then we can multiply the answer there times the radius. So we substitute for what we know. We know it's 2 times 3.14, and then we multiply it times 4. And our final answer is going to be C equals 25.12 feet. It's as easy as that, guys. So we take our diameter, we take our radius, whatever data it gives us, and we use the appropriate formula. In this way, we can measure around the circle. It's like the perimeter, but since a circle is so special, we call it the circumference. I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed your very first mini lesson. Until next time.